All praises to the Most High. This is Elliot. So we have the victory of Donald Trump, 2024. We don't know what's to come. If anything, it may change between now and January, but as it looks that he will be inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States. The reason why I want to talk about this today is because I want to remind everyone that this is not the first rodeo with this guy. We've had him before, and during that season, what did we experience? We experienced people being locked in their houses and all the stuff that came with the thing, you know what I'm saying? And it still happened under him, as well as Operation quote unquote warp speed. He took all the credit for that and trying to get people the stuff as quickly as possible, knowing good and well that stuff was already ready, right? But what I'm saying is, I'm hoping and believing that we're all mature enough and can see, and if not, maybe this is your opportunity to see that just because he's in place again, and if you are rooting for that, if that's something that you think that might help the outlook of the future, I would like to let you know that the world is still darkening and that nothing has really changed or will change fundamentally. Now, there might be little things here, little nuances, peaks and valleys of things that may be different just under this administration, but they don't have as much power as president as you would think. All the agenda and the marching orders are basically already written by the powers that be, and these are the people who are the figureheads, are the people who are to carry it out with their own personality, of course. So, I'm just saying that to say that just because, he's in place, during his acceptance speech, one of the first things he did was to shout out Elon Musk. And, during an acceptance speech, for all this time that you put into a campaign, and then to get up there and to speak about him, to me, that's pretty significant. Because we know that Elon has pretty much self-proclaimed himself as a Satanist. His baby mama, Grimes, high-ranking witch priestess. Just the fact that, just the weird stuff that he does, the outfit, that little red outfit he had on his Twitter profile, the satanic outfit. I mean, he's not hiding who he is. And the thing that bothers me, even though I'm not tooting Christianity and all that stuff, but so many people believe that this is the man of God, Trump, and unfortunately, it's probably furthest from that. Maybe there's some ease in seeing somebody there that that seems to be competent and doesn't trip and fall down stairs and make all kind of gaffes. But we have to remember that this world is still going in the same direction. It's like having a check engine light on in your vehicle, and it just been on for a long time, and you're like, man, I can't wait to get this off. And so you try something like, hey, maybe I'll just go change the oil and put some more gas in it, put new gas in it. You don't fundamentally get it fixed, but you're thinking just making some changes might help turn that light off. So you go do it, get your oil changed, put the best gas in there as possible, and the light's still on. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, the light's still on the world and America. It's still getting dark outside. It's still so much happening rapidly as we're approaching 2030 and the years beyond that, if they be. And we have to know that no matter what's coming, it makes no sense for someone to just come in, one man in particular, to come in and change the trajectory of the darkness that's been unleashed in this world. Even in the Bible, where it talks about repent and I'll turn from your wicked ways and I'll heal your land. That's not necessarily for us now, but it's a scripture that people love to use. And one of the things I want to say about that is that we should be excited at the way this world's going if we're really following the Most High the way we should. If we're sticking close to Him and doing everything that we need to do, purging ourselves of sin, transgressions against His laws, learning how to follow His laws and His commandments to the best of our ability. All these things are the things that we're going to need to do in these last days in order to get ourselves right for the end. And the last thing that we need to be worried about as those children of Israel is who is president of the United States of America. Now, I'm not saying that in a way like you don't pay attention. Of course I'm paying attention. I'm making a whole video about it. And I think that that's important to pay attention. And look, I'm going to touch on this in a few minutes, but let me circle back on that. In Deuteronomy 17 and the 15th verse, I'm just going to take like a line out of there where the Most High basically says we're not supposed to be supporting a stranger to be over us, to rule over us as king. Like, that's unnatural. That's so unnatural. So it's just so weird how I saw so many people, and just the desperation of Israel, especially the daughters of Zion, black women, people who really wanted to connect with Kamala Harris as being a black woman and calling her black, knowing good and well she's not black. She's East Indian. And they even tell you this. But they're saying because she can do her little ski-wee AKA stuff and throw up a little pinky, and so they support that because she went to a HBCU, because culturally she's invited to the barbecue. You see, that's a whole nother problem in and of itself that I don't want to tackle right now, but it just hurts that, going back to that scripture, that it's not even natural for us to want to strive and put someone who is not even of our culture ahead of us. And see, that won't make sense to a lot of people, because being in the United States of America, thinking that we're American and this is our land and it's a melting pot and everybody's the same, you would probably subscribe to that ideology. But unfortunately, it's not how we're supposed to be rolling. And the same thing for Trump. So that's why we're not even really supposed to partake in this whole process at all. I know people were getting excited on social media, trying to show the little stickers they got, talking about they did this, that, and the other. But if you really realize that kind of makes you look a little silly at the end of the day, if you did that. And maybe if this is the first time hearing it, if this touches you in your spirit, then maybe you could say, hey, maybe if there is another one of those things, I won't participate in the same way, like at all. So, now what was I saying I was going to circle back on? Anyway, I kind of forgot that point, but I'm going to keep going. So, we realize that with all these things that are going on with the people that are in place now, we have to know that the things continually could get worse. And they probably are. They are, even at this moment. And what I mean by worse, I just mean is more of not the same. There's definitely a plan, and people may be just hungry and striving. And even I was, back in 2020, when I really noticed that things were changing, I had hope. I had hope that someone could come in and stop this stuff before it got out of control. Then I realized that the days of darkness are here. People are changing. They're continuing to. They're looking different. They're acting different. They're walking different. The prices are different. The things that are available to us are different. I mean, just so much change happening as things are starting to close up. And no, even though supposedly he dodged 2 bullets and legal issues and all that stuff, he's not Superman, y'all. For the people who look at him like that. And then I've seen on social media people literally, especially black women, and this could be propaganda, but I do believe some of it because it does look too real, that so many people are just having meltdowns because their girl didn't win. Well, first of all, I just wanted to double back and say that wasn't your girl in the first place. So maybe this could be a teaching moment for everybody to continue to wake up. And people wake up at different times, and it could be different things that trigger them to be like, hey, wait a minute, what am I holding on to in the first place? And this is your time to pull back and come out of her. Come out of Babylon. Come out of this wickedness. Come out of supporting certain people. Speaking of support, so during Trump's victory speech, one of the first things he did was shout out, or not first things, but somewhere in his victory speech, he shouted out Elon Musk. And just the fact that he is there just kind of lets us know, where his allegiances lie, the partnerships he has for the future. And we've already seen that Elon is doing so much with the robots, with the Neuralink, the brain chip, with, just like I said, the relationship he has with Grimes, who is just completely wicked high priestess. Just all these different things that it's just out there in the open, who we're really dealing with and the spirits we're dealing with. And the same thing that we saw with the Biden administration and, how they had Lady Gaga and so many evil, wicked witches just a part of his administration or just supporting his administration openly, coming to agreement with these different entities. All that to say is it's definitely continually starting to stay dark. Continually starting to get dark and stay dark out here, no matter who's in place and what's going on. And so what are we going to do during these times? Well, we got to realize that for us, we have to take every opportunity to continue to prepare, to do all the things that are necessary for us to literally get to the point of just being prepared for whatever may come. And if that comes through this administration, if there's anything that comes through this administration that could be good, that we could take advantage of, that would cause us to be able to increase financially, that would provide opportunities for us in any way, take advantage of it. Don't glorify it or worship it, but take advantage of it in order to prepare. What does that look like? I don't know. If they roll out any grants, if there's any opportunities now for jobs, if there's certain things that doesn't get in the way of what the Most High commands us and that we can partake in, do that to prepare, to make sure we're continuing to do what we need to do our part to get our finances right, to get our houses in order, and be prepared for what may come. But just know that we're walking the spiritual walk that's ordained and led by the Most High God, and we don't want to be out of step with Him. We don't want to bow down to this world. We don't want to get out of place and out of line. So at the same time, we have to keep our eyes fixed on Him and the things that He's doing in this time, in every way, and not get caught up on what may be happening in the political world and the world around us, even though it definitely affects us. See, I like to bring balance to this because I know that spiritually you can walk in the Spirit so much, and then when you realize you have to go outside. You have to do stuff. You have to interact with people. You have to pay stuff. You have bills, expenses, taxes, all that stuff. We still have to navigate in this matrix. And so all that to say is, when we do this a step at a time, we have to realize that it's coming down to the point of how are we going to navigate these last days, and that's just trusting Him and prayerfully taking one step at a time. You see, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take one step. And then as you continue to make things known and for sure that, that He's the one leading you and guiding you and preparing these days, then you take the second step with boldness, knowing that He's going to open up the doors, He's going to provide, He's going to be whatever it's going to be, whatever needs to be done at this season and time to bring about increase, provision, favor, all the things that are necessary for us to be promoted and to get our houses in order. That's what I want to really harp on. Get your houses in order, get your situations in order, get your spirit life, your spirit walk with the Most High in order, and just be prepared for what may come. Because what I'm saying ultimately is things have not slowed down at all. And as much of a euphoric a segment of the society, second of America, and some of the world leaders I've already seen are acting, like they're excited because this man's back in leadership. Just know that we are going to experience more of the same, and this may not be as dramatic and sloppy as we saw with the previous administration. I hope this meets you somewhere and encourages you to the point to know that, we have to continue doing what we need to do. And I hope for things to get better. As much as I want to be there with you, I'm kind of excited that we're heading in a direction for the Most High to come and do what he needs to do. Because that's really the only way at this point. I mean, I'm noticing that even when things are just built, brand new establishments, they're still run by these monsters full of tattoos, walking around looking like zombies, no customer service, sloppy, food quality's terrible most every place I go. Just things just aren't the same. The feelings are weird. People acting funny. It's just, I'm trying not to be completely dark and paint a picture of doom and gloom. But I want to get to the point where I really understand, or help you guys understand, that it kind of is what it is in this world. And there's not going to be one man come to save it. And again, he's made his allegiances known of who he's rolling with in these days. And we already see those power moves that Elon's making. So keep that in mind and know that, to come out of her is what's necessary. And we need to be about what we need to be about. And that's our families, our finances, our walk with the Most High, our provisions in terms of our preparedness, and all the things that we need to do to line up to get ready for the supernatural move that the Most High is going to do in these days and times. I'm going to leave it there for now. All praises. So until next time we speak, this is Elliot. Shalom.